About 2 weeks ago, at a night vigil for the late Fred Omondi, Ababu Namwamba was badly embarrassed and heckled, where Kenyans told him RUTO must go. He had gone there to take his donation in respect of the late Fred Omondi. That was about 2 weeks ago. We know Ababu Namwamba is not a member of parliament. He's a CS in Ruto's government. And he was being heckled and being booed, being told RUTO must go. Moses Kuria faced a similar situation today in Nyeri, where he had attended the burial ceremony for Jimmy Wanjigi's father, where he was told RUTO must go. Let's have a look at that as captured by Standard. Public Service CS Moses Kuria forced to cut speech short in Nyeri after mourners begin chanting anti-RUTO slogans at the burial of businessman Jimmy Wanjigi's father, Minor. So Moses Kuria was literally forced to cut short his speech. As he was speaking, the mourners started booing and heckling, saying RUTO must go. Kuria obeyed that and cut short his speech. That's coming just about 2 weeks after Babu Namwamba was also heckled. I want us to put all this into perspective for Kenyans to understand why these cabinet secretaries are being heckled. Yes, while we know they never voted in parliament. The first reason, that's a show of no confidence on Ruto's government. Kenyans are just sending a clear message to Ruto and to the whole world that they lack confidence in Ruto's leadership. That's why they're saying RUTO must go. Everywhere in Nairobi, Central Rift Valley, Coast, RUTO must go. And if Kenyans had that opportunity of impeaching RUTO maybe in parliament, they could have sent RUTO home long time ago. That's a vote of no confidence in RUTO. That's why these cabinet secretaries are being heckled. Another reason why they are being heckled, Kenyans are just trying to send a message to RUTO that your entire government should pack and go. That's why Ababu was heckled, and we're now seeing Kuria being heckled. I don't think there is any cabinet secretary in Ruto's government today who can address Kenyans without being shouted down. That in itself is an indictment on the cabinet William Ruto appointed. Kenyans lack confidence in his cabinet. And truth be said, starting with William Ruto, the president, regarding the deputy, all these government officials, none inspires confidence. That's why they're being heckled. They are also being heckled because Kenyans don't trust Ruto. Even though he withdrew that finance bill, Kenyans still don't trust him. That goes on to confirm that the finance bill was just a spark. Kenyans have got so many issues to settle with Ruto. And these are things we've been talking about here. There are just so many issues Kenyans have against Ruto. So many issues, not even about the finance, so many issues. And these cabinet secretaries are also being heckled because they don't have the language to speak to the people. They are coming out as being very arrogant. In fact, they are portraying a message that they are bosses. They are not people servants. If you listen to Kuria talk, if you listen to Namwamba talk, if you listen to Kithure Kindiki talk, Ade Nduale talk, Most of these cabinet secretaries, they are bossy, arrogant, and proud. Kenyans want humble leaders who can address them with lots of respect, acknowledging that power belongs to the people. They are not our bosses, but we are their bosses. That's the message Kenyans are also trying to send out by heckling these cabinet secretaries. They should stop the opulence, pride, and all this arrogance. Another reason why Kuria was heckled today again, it can also be possible he was heckled because Kenyans see him as a non-performing cabinet secretary. Besides the collective failure by this government, if you zero it in on the individual cabinet secretaries, Kuria was heckled most definitely because Kenyans see him as a non-performing cabinet secretary. So it appears the heckling will continue. The only unfortunate bit about it, William Ruto is not listening. Gen Z's laid some 14 demands, which we keep on reminding William Ruto here. William Ruto should just implement the 14 demands. One of the demands was for Ruto to dissolve his government. But from what we are gathering, Ruto intends to reshuffle his government. Kenyans have made it very clear, don't reshuffle, dissolve. And that's somehow a similar message that Kenyans also delivered during the finance bill debate, where Kenyans said, don't amend, reject. William Ruto, through his members of parliament, amended the finance bill. That caused serious tension across the country, and we saw parliament being occupied. Right now, Kenyans are telling William Ruto very clearly, don't reshuffle, dissolve. The entire cabinet is not serving the interest of Kenyans. How I wish William Ruto would this time around listen to Kenyans. And also, just as I've explained in our earlier video, William Ruto was on SpaceX today, where again he lied that the 12-year-old boy was shot 8 times, was not shot by a police officer, but by a civilian who snatched away a gun from a police officer. And Kenyans don't have good words for William Ruto over those remarks because that's again an open lie. So Kenyans are on the streets because of Ruto's lies, but Ruto calls for an engagement, and again he lies in front of the millions of Kenyans. So there is that disconnect. Ruto and Kenyans are reading from two different pages. Ruto is yet to realize that one of the issues that also took Kenyans to the streets are his perennial lies. He keeps lying every now and then. That's also something that took Kenyans to the streets. But Ruto appears he's still lying. And again, if you look at some church leaders, some are still worshipping Ruto, not speaking truth to him. We must also congratulate a few who are also coming out to warn him. Like in our earlier video today, we saw some two church leaders warning William Ruto of some dire consequences. The first wave is over. A second wave, he might not survive it. He might not survive a second wave. And from the look of things, the second wave is slowly but surely building against Ruto. So his only option is to dissolve the government. If he can't dissolve it, he has no business leading Kenyans. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.